This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, and the point is verse 13, and it reads, And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyam, La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Quadash Barakathum. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, fellow servant, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. This lesson is in regards to this article, basically that I'm seeing out of my Newsbreak app. It says agriculture. It's agriculture. It's out of the USA Today, and basically, I scanned over the article, but I didn't really read it. But basically, they like what's that, fact checking. And that's not the point of me bringing out the article. The article is just to prove the point that they're selling this cell-cultivated, lab-grown meat, which is defiled. Scriptures, the Lord, basically through Yahweh and the Elohim, or the angels, created the earth, and basically everything was good. So that's when they rested. This devil, this deceiver, Esau Edom, the red Hebrew Edomite, who you ignorantly call the so-called white man, this man is the only being on the planet that thinks that he can outdo the Most High God. So this man is literally Antichrist, But with that being said, this food is abominable. It tells you what in the scriptures that Israel shouldn't eat and should or is allowed to eat, what's kosher or what's good or what's good to eat and what's not good to eat. And although it doesn't say anything about cell-grown meat in the scriptures, it also says, food, grown, and, so, again, this devil playing God, and that's why in Ezekiel 28 talks about, basically, he think of himself as God. Let me get that real quick, by the way. I'm lightweight sleepy, so Salakia. I'm trying to hurry up and get this lesson in before I have to go into the plantation. But I figured try to do it now, as opposed to, I want the video to be edifying, but I don't want to not do it either because I'm already tired. Then I get in this job and then don't want to do it at all. But this is Ezekiel chapter 28, and I'm going to start at verse 2, and it reads, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus. So this was talking about the ancient prince of Tyrus, but the modern day prince of Tyrus is this red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man, Esau Edom. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, because thine heart is lifted up. So, when you go into Proverbs, Habakkuk, chapter 2 talks about this devil and his pride. And that's why this devil, while his kingdom is fallen, he still doesn't think that it's fallen. You got still arrogant, proud as Edomites, seeing that their country is over with, but yet still, you know what I mean? As a Make America Great still, when Donald Trump talk about the country going in the drain, but they still talk about Make America Great. When basically you'll never get those heydays of what America used to be again. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst of the seas, in the midst or in between the peoples, the nations, yet thou art a man and not power. So yeah, this man has power, but he's not God. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. So this man want to be the Most High. That's why he coming with a system where he's omnipotent, basically seeing everything that's being done, which actually, like I said, I listened to the elder of Yahshua, but he said, we take time to think about it. Carnally, it is a great idea. If you think carnally, he gonna monitor everything. He gonna make a system where you gotta basically pay homage to him or else. But it's a foolish idea spiritually, because it's basically a punishment that comes with doing this. So I'll read a little bit of the article, and I thought of a few scriptures. Try not to make this too long, so Lord willingly is edifying. It says, lab-grown meat being sold in the U.S. will be labeled cell-cultivated. This fact check. It says the claim U.S. allows lab-grown meat to be sold without a label. So basically they're saying that you got people saying that the meat is not being sold with a label, saying that it's lab-grown. And I was wondering how they going to do that too, but basically they going to, instead of saying that it's lab-grown, they going to put cell-cultivated. Just like you got, I know brothers just put that in the group chat. You know, it's a certain avocado that's grown. I think it's called a peel or something like that. That's the name of the company or name of the avocado. And basically Bill Gates has helped fund the research of it. Kind of like that Impossible burger meat type shit, where basically they saying stay away from that. So, you know, but they don't tell you that that's genetically modified, genetically grown, or, you know, lab grown vegetables. They don't tell you about lab grown tomatoes and shit. So, you know, I would be surprised. You know what I mean? You can't never trust this devil. The scriptures say never trust thine enemy. People, especially our people, seem to forget that this man is your enemy. It says a July 10th Twitter post shows packages of ground beef on display at a grocery store. A few weeks ago, while the media focused on the Titanic submarine, the government quietly legalized the sale of lab-grown chicken and meat without any labeling. Now, I didn't know it was chicken and other meats. Now, I have done videos in the past on how they basically making lab-grown tilapia fish, you know, which tilapia is lightweight like lab-grown meat anyway, you know. And without any labeling, reads the post. This happened with very little safety review or public discussion, which I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, again, this devil will pass laws at the last minute. You know, he'll try and get a law passed and like basically put it up for review or to vote on like a couple days before they actually supposed to do it. That's a spirit, is a lightning bug right on my windshield, and it lit up. But and it just did it again. The post was retweeted more than 9,000 times and shared on Facebook more than 250 times in a week, according to CrowdTangle, a social media analytics tool. Our ratings false. It says the two companies currently allowed to sell lab-grown meat in the U.S. were both required to have labels approved by the Department of Agriculture. The products will carry a cell-cultivated label. Products will have cell-cultivated labels. So basically, it goes into the two companies, Upside Foods and Good Meat, each released they said it's called Good Meat, each released their own statements announcing approval. In early statements, both companies indicated their products would have a cell-cultivated label. But that's not the point of the article or the point of this video. The point of the video is them even making this meat, period. Because, and then, like I said again, they may say that, but this devil says, this devil passes laws and then amends them quietly without you being aware. You know what I mean? Or, you know, like I said again, because they're not enforcing certain laws, but they passed a lot of laws a couple of years ago when everybody was stuck in their house. All meat and poultry products sold in the U.S. require a label to be reviewed and approved by the U.S. I mean, shit, you got laws where basically they allow a certain amount of rodent fecal matter inside your food. You know how like you got certain factories that basically food processing plants that deal with all this food. Well, if a rodent was to get into there and fall into the food, there is an acceptable level of rat feces or rodent feces that could be allowed in your food. So, like, I would, you know, again, we know we dealing with the devil. The scripture said, least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of the devil's devices. So, you know, this devil look at you in the face and tell you a bold-faced fucking lie, but look like, you know, this devil's an actor. I was watching the Elder Mwatazak go into that. You know, he was going into the Masonic, you know, like a lot of these actors and actresses, they're no longer called actresses. They're called, everybody's called actor. They're labeled one thing because everything is so supposed to be, QC and you know everything's so much equality. We live in a place that's supposed to be pushing equality so to the point where a man and a woman are equal, but then yet still you have our people, our nation of people, from you Puerto Ricans to you blacks and Hispanics, that still are hated or and treated unfairly in this place. This place is a fucking joke. So with that being said, you know, this place is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, those are in rulership. You know, scriptures tell you that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And that's why the devil could come with an idea to do this. You got I can see if it wasn't any animals anymore, but you got plenty of cows and, you know, kosher meat. You got plenty of, uh, lawful, that's the word I was looking for, lawful meat, salakia. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So this devil basically took the covenant onto himself, you know, uh, you know, and basically this man is not living by the scriptures. That's what the scriptures talk about. Who are thou to declare thy laws and statutes? And being that you wasn't up under the covenant, but you called yourself being the people, now you're gonna be judged based on that. Only this devil come up with the idea. It's like dealing with a woman to a degree. Only this devil come up with the idea that they the people, they in the land, but then tell you that, pork is now kosher. How the fuck, because you saying it's kosher is a kosher when the scriptures and the Most High God said that the animal, I don't care how many prayers or whatever the fuck you do, won't never make the animal kosher. You know what I'm saying? And it's another reason why, we the people, because our people tend to be fucked up health-wise based on because of all the pork they consume. Our people consume a lot of that pork. And, Esau, Edom, or Moab, or Ammon, a lot of those heathens eat a lot of pork, but they don't be fucked up like Jake do. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. And it says, so ye shall not pollute the land where ye are, for blood is defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And the point is, verse 34, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, dwell among the children of Israel. And the Lord sent us into the captivity of this devil, our enemy. And the devil's defiling the land. So we caught up in this regardless, you know what I mean? And I know this is talking about the bloodshed, because these devils took this land by bloodshed, rape, robbery, and murder. But they defiled the land in multiple different ways. They defiled the land on how they, basically you're supposed to like have a land Sabbath. You're supposed to allow the land to basically renew itself. You plant on the land, I think, for like 6 years, and in the 7th year you let it rest. I think you burn it, and then it'll renew itself. But this devil is so greedy and covetous, he'll just continue to grow, like a chicken. A chicken is not meant to have eggs all its life to, you know what I mean? Like, just like a female don't want to just have, you ever met a female that got like 10 kids? You know what I mean? Like, that bitch would be crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I remember my demon literally had our children back to back, you know what I mean? And that was not my intention, you know what I mean? But long story short, showing you everything the will of the Lord. And, as much as she thinks she love her kids, I watch how literally she ran for the hills and wanted that freedom. And that's what majority of the women in Babylon are. It's not coincidental, not to digress, but it's not coincidental. I was just talking to a brother about a video he was talking about going into Eve, and I was with amongst two brothers, and they basically was going into Eve, and I'm going through with shit with Eve, and then the elder Rachakwam from London was going in on Eve, and Lilith, and then the elder Yashawama from Dallas was going into Lilith, and how Semiramis and Lilith is interchangeable, and that's all spiritual. That's how the Lord had worked. The first person that did the video was the elder Rachakwam, then it was the elder Yashawamba, and basically I was telling those brothers about that video. They need to check it out, because now they speaking on going through this shit, because basically it's a spirit. And that's why, you got that first feminine spirit. That Lilith was that first feminine spirit. They don't need a man. They're not going to submit to a man. You know what I mean? But bitch, when it, like when that day come, I want you to go ahead and keep that same energy. Because you know what I mean? But not to digress. So again, the land is defiled. And therefore, so, again, how like when Yahushua cursed the fig tree. So how do you, if this land is cursed, is defiled, what do you think something like how do you believe something good is gonna come forth from this land? It's not. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, and the point is verse 3. reads, "Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing." So abominable things will be this lab grown meat as well. And I know we can't like we don't control that much shit here. We're in captivity, you know. We don't grow our own food, we don't make our own clothing. We're in subjection, you know what I mean? And you know, a lot of Jake don't really read labels and whatnot. But you know what I mean? So how many Jake you really think gonna read that cell cultivated meat? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be meticulous with this to a degree too, and I think that's why Esau Edom do it. You know, he know Jake don't read like that for the most part. And then, like I say again, like when you go into what's all got yeast in it and how they changed the name of yeast, like you done took and made this complicated ass, long ass, retarded ass scientific word when all it is yeast in a different process. You know what I mean? Like, just full of shit. So, you know, again, abominable things will be, you know, that lab grown meat. So, yeah, and scriptures talk about the end is nigh, and you know, evil and only evil shall come, meaning bad times. And like I said again, it might be to a point where you might not even be able to find like real meat. It might be because again, I noticed something. You know what I mean? I noticed how a lot of gas stations are basically letting you pay less for gas if you use cash as opposed to credit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you don't know, you know what I mean? That's just like with a lot of you gotta remember a lot of the farms failed. You know what I mean? Like I remember watching, we was doing the videos on this stuff and looking into this stuff last year. You know, you had a lot of crops fail, a lot of animals was euthanized. So it's a reason why they choosing to come with this cell cultivated lab grown meat. You know what I mean? You might look up and that might be the only shit, you know, available for real. On top of when they try to push this CBDC shit, this Fed now, and this the spirit too, because now that I think about all this, they talking about today is the day where they actually officially launching the Fed now, the instant payment system. You know what I mean? Then when you go into that, you know, an instant system like that, like I said, they said it could be pretty much like China, where okay, well, you can't get actual real meat, but you can buy this cell cultivated meat because they're going to control what you can and cannot buy. So that's Revelations 13 right there. You cannot buy or sell save he had the mark. So they can control what you can buy. You know, shit, they gonna want that's gonna make sure that, like I said, like you got people that buy and sell shit all the time without letting Uncle Sam know, because Uncle Sam believes he's supposed to get a cut out of every transaction. Well, now off of a system where it's all digital and they can monitor everything, they gonna make sure they can get their cut. If you are so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyam, La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rachak, with this book of thumb. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teaching do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua to listening and learning. Lord, willingly this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, to whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.